guys, we're back with another song by Eminem. And which one are we doing today?
So we're doing Premonition, which is the first track off of Music to Be Murdered By.
I don't think I know it. Yeah, I've heard of this album. I know you've listened to it. I don't I don't know. I don't think I could name anything from this album, honestly.
So I think I've played you most of the songs, if not all, at some point. I think there's
Okay.
a handful that you liked. So there's one with Ed Sheeran that you like.
Oh, wait, but I thought we already heard that.
No, it's another one.
There's another?
Yeah.
I don't I don't know.
Yeah. So this is his most recent album. So it was split up into two albums. 2020 Music to Be Murdered By came out, and then I think about a year later, side B came out, which is also Music to Be Murdered By, but they were released separately. So
Okay.
this is the first track of his most recent album. Um, I think you might have heard it before. It's got one of my favorite rhymes of his in it. It's very simple. It's like very basic. I can't believe nobody's ever said it before, but
I don't know. I know a couple of your favorite rhymes, but we've already heard them all, so I can't think of
so
it.
this one's just clever. It's so basic and so simple that it's like I think that's what makes me like it so much. I'm like, how does nobody rhyme this before? How has nobody thought of this? But yeah, it's towards the end of the song, so it's cool.
Okay,
Yes.
sounds good. Oh, and we are sponsored by Carnivore Snacks. I know I need to get more. I have none, but gonna place an order soon. Definitely gotta do that. And they are one of my favorite meat snacks ever. This is the lamb sliders. I always say the best ones are the sliders. Any slider flavor you should try if you've never tried it before. This is grass-fed lamb and Redmond real salt. They're all minimal ingredient like that and always grass-fed. Sorry. And it's like eating a meat potato chip, which sounds weird, but it's absolutely amazing and delicious. And if you've never tried it before, you really should. And you can use our promo code with Smith for 15% off your order, and the link is in the description below. And that's the website right there. Even Joe Rogan says it's his favorite meat snack, and I trust him because he knows his meat. And we are also sponsored by Chomps. I'm sorry, which is one of my other favorite meat snacks and my favorite beef jerky ever. This is their turkey stick, which is really, really, really good. And I'm not really someone who would gravitate towards a non beef jerky, but this is awesome. All their flavors are awesome. My personal favorite is the salt and pepper venison. And they're minimal ingredient, minimal calories, only ingredients you can understand and are familiar with. Like it says, just straightforward. And super soft and moist, truly delicious. And you can use our coupon code with Smith for 10% off your order and an additional 10% off subscriptions. And we're also sponsored by SeatGeek, which is my favorite ticket website. We've used them and our other sponsors from before. We were sponsored by them. And SeatGeek is a great website to get tickets for sporting events, concerts, comedians, like anything. I guarantee you they have a ticket for it. And you can use our coupon code with Smith for $20 off your very first purchase. And the link is in the description below for that as well. And also check out our Amazon storefront if you'd like to. That is also in the description below. And like and subscribe and follow us on social media channels if you want to. That's it from me.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
All right. So, as I said,
Probably the shortest Eminem song aside from the skits that we've ever done, I think.
yeah, it's under 3 minutes. So, the Premonition intro, this is track one
Does it
off
have
of.
like a chorus or is it just like
So, there is another, what's this chick's name? There's a woman singing on it. It's not really a chorus, though. Her name is Nikki Greer.
I never heard of her?
Yeah, so it's a straight verse, but there's a little intro with her singing.
Okay.
And oh, I should mention, Music to Be Murdered By is actually an Alfred Hitchcock album. So Eminem takes the whole theme.
I knew that. I knew
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So you'll hear throughout the album skits of Alfred Hitchcock from his album.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Premonition.
Yeah. So I guess this is what it is, huh? I think it's obvious. We ain't never gonna see eye to eye. But it's funny. As much as I hate you, I need you.
This is music to be murdered by.
I've heard this.
Sound like a spitter, 90% of these hypocrites are trying to get rid of. But why would I get a chip on my shoulder? I was considered one time as the illest. Bitch, I'm still as fly as a zipper. True, I just get richer, but if it was ever all about Skrilla, then I would've quit her long motherfucking time ago. Bitch, shut the fuck up, I should go say that shit to Tech 9 or the Jigger. Nobody says shit about 2 Chainz as long as he's been here. Shit, no wonder you're mad now. I'm looking at them blacks, count them. I'm LL Cool J, bigger and deafer, that's how come. I sell like 4 mil when I put out a bad album. Revival flop came back and I scared the crap out of them. But Rolling Stone stars, I get 2.5 out of 5, and I laugh out loud, cause that's what they gave bad back in the day, which actually made me not feel as bad now. Cause if it happened to James, it can happen to Shady. They do the same shit to Brady. More people hate me than love me. This game will make you go crazy. About to go for B-R-O-K-E. I was the G, the O-A-T. Once I was played in rotation at every radio station. They said I'm lyrically amazing, but I have nothing to say. But then when I put out Revival and I had something to say, they said that they hated the awake me. I lose the rage, I'm too tame. I get it back, they say I'm too angry. I need to get me some Dravies. No, I should hook up with Takey. Fans keep on pulling me one way, haters pull me in another. Got more hooks in me than Swaley. About to pick up some weights and lift to my tattoo of Haley's face stretches. They said I'm just a whiner, I sound like a baby. I dish it out but can't take it, but I take it, dish it back out and naked. All been out of shape, the shit's almost comical. Waiting, I meant no disrespect, that wasn't disintact. That was not a shot at 2 Chainz or the Jay-Z. They probably feel the same way because lately, instead of us being credited for longevity and being able to keep it up for this long at this level, we get told we'll never be what we were. Bitch, if I was this half as good as I was, I'm still twice as good as you'll ever be. Only way that you're ahead of me's alphabetically, cause if you diss me, I'm coming after you like the letter V. Killing everything, latest tune at your eulogy. It's your funeral, prepare to die. This is music for you to be murdered by.
I want to guess which one was your favorite. Is it the U and the letter V?
Yeah.
I figured.
It's so simple.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I can't believe nobody's, I mean, I'm assuming nobody said it. I guess it's possible somebody else did.
I'm sure, like, maybe just like someone's used that in like everyday
And
conversation.
and in the content, the bars before it too are so good. Well actually, I'll talk about why I like it so much. I think at least when we get there. All right, so it
The
starts off.
beginning, is that the sound of him stabbing someone, or is he burying someone, or is he
So I
digging
think
a grave to bury someone?
so. It sounded like I get what you're saying because you hear the woman screaming. So it's like, is the stabbing him digging the dirt or is it stabbing her? It might be both. It's
Because
not
then
clear.
there's digging, and then I'm like, well, it kind of sounds like the stabbing, but
And
I
then
don't know.
I'm not sure with those sound effects if those are just from Eminem or if some of them are from Alfred Hitchcock's.
So Alfred Hitchcock is from such a long time ago that I don't think he would have stabbing noises like that in his tapes because he was pretty old school, and like the way he was creepy was just like being really like I don't even know what to call it.
But the music you'll
Like
hear,
Victorian era creepy.
no, so he's like from the 50s and stuff, but
No, I
like
know, but like he was like
his
proper
intros,
creepy.
yeah, but no, but his intros are like, this is music for you to be murdered by. This is what to listen to while you're being done in. Like it's literally
Which
about
is like
being murdered.
which is like the most nice way and least scary way to say it.
Yeah,
Being done in. Like
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think that he would have like stabbing, screaming noises and then be so like polite about it.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
So it starts off, Eminem comes in, he says, yeah, he's talking, he says, yeah. So I guess this is what it is, huh? Think it's obvious we ain't never gonna see eye to eye. But it's funny, as much as I hate you, I need you.
So this is about the critics or the fans that don't agree with
I
him.
think like so I think it's everything. So he addresses a lot in this intro. He addresses the fans, the haters, the critics, and the reception that his last few albums have got. So I think it's rap in general, but also everything that goes along with it, all the people. And then yes, he says this is music to be murdered by, which is the name of the album. And then this chick sings, "Got a premonition, I feel the end is near."
Her voice is nice.
Yes. The beauty starts to fade, the joy has turned to pain. So I interpret this as she's singing on behalf of Eminem and his feelings towards rap, his career, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I take it, at least.
It also kind of sounds like she's singing about a relationship, but I guess that's not
Yeah, of
really what this
course.
is supposed to be about here.
So it is. It's a relationship, but his relationship with music, which he does a lot, you know. I hear the symphony playing 10,000 violins.
Which is like usually like they're saying when the end is near.
Yeah. And then souls floating away like feathers in the wind. So that goes with souls floating away, so people dying. That goes with the music to be murdered by. All right. So Eminem comes in. He says, "They said my last album, I sounded bitter. No, I sound like a spitter who 90% of these hypocrites are trying to get rid of."
Okay.
So, referring to Kamikaze,
Mm-hmm.
which we discussed, he was mad at people, the response to Revival.
Yeah.
So he's saying, oh, people are like, oh, you sound bitter. And he's like, no, I was spitting, right? And 90% of the hypocrites want to get rid of him because he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he says, but why would I get a chip on my shoulder? I was considered one time as the illest. Bitch, I'm still as fly as your zipper.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
So
It's
he's
funny.
saying, I was considered the best, back in the day, so I shouldn't have a chip on my shoulder. And he's like, well, not only that, was I the best back then? I'm still awesome. I'm as fly as your dipper, so obviously fly as zipper.
Yeah, and I would argue that like a lot of his um bars or like one-liners, whatever you want to call it, are better than back in the day.
So I agree. He got much more into the art and
Like
like the
more creative and like
complexity.
having things like just letting things go over people's heads sometimes, which is cool.
Yeah. So then he says, true, I just get richer, but if it was ever all about Skrilla, then I would have quit a long motherfucking time ago. Bitch, shut the fuck up. I should go say that shit to Tech Nine or to Jigga. So
Okay.
he's saying they keep saying I suck, right? Right, but I keep getting rich, right?
Like they're
I'm
like
I'm
hitting on
making
him saying like stop like complaining, you're making money, but he's saying it's not about money.
Well, yeah, well, he's saying no, he's saying like you guys say I suck, yet I keep selling. You know what I mean? So I keep making
True.
money. And then he's like, but if it was all about money, I would have quit a while ago because I made so much money years ago. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not about that. It's not about the money, like you were just saying. It's about that he wants to actually rap. And then he says, "Shut the fuck up. I should go say that to Tech Nine and to Jigga." So he's saying like, they've been around for a while. So why don't we go say
But
that
also
to
like
them?
they too, and they're still like doing their thing,
And
I
they've
guess.
been in the game for a while. So like,
Yeah.
and then he continues on that theme. He says, nobody said shit about 2 Chainz as long as he's been here. Shit, no wonder you're mad. Now I'm looking at them plaques. Count them. I'm LL Cool J, bigger and deafer. That's how come. Okay, so this is like in the middle of a bar. But so it's the same thing with 2 Chainz. He's been around. People aren't, at least he's like, oh, people aren't saying that shit about 2 Chainz,
Yeah.
right?
I think a lot of people know that Two Chain's been around for
Well,
that
because he was Titty Boy. Yeah.
long.
And then he says, so no wonder you're mad. He's saying people are actually mad at the fact that he's been around so long. You know what I mean? That he's still performing and still making money and all that.
Mhm.
And then he says, I'm looking at them plaques. So he's like, look at all these. So I got the money, I got these awards, right? Then he says, I'm LL Cool J, bigger and deafer. That's how come. So LL Cool J had an album called Bigger and Deafer, right? But on
What does that mean?
just bigger, more famous, and deaf, awesome. He's
Okay.
like Def Jam, like he's like awesome.
Yeah.
So, but on the album, it was acronym, so it said BAD. So that's important to remember.
Okay, because at first when he was mentioning Bad Album, I thought he was talking about Michael
Michael Jackson,
Jackson.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the bigger and deafer is on the album cover BAD. So he says, I'm L Cool J, bigger and deafer. That's how come I sell like 4 mil when I put out a bad album. So that's such a great line. So he's saying, so he does mean it as a double entendre. He's like, so this album's not that great, right? but I still sell 4 million records.
Yeah.
But then it's a tie-in to Bigger and Deffer, BAD, bad album. So that LL
Oh,
Cool
right.
J.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's why he like equated it. He's like, that's how come. And then he says, Revival flopped, came back, and I scared the crap out of him. But Rolling Stone stars, I get 2.5 out of 5, and I'll laugh out loud. So, he's like, I'm spitting, I'm doing, awesome, yet Rolling Stones hating. This
Yeah.
has been a common theme. Like his music comes out, some critics they don't appreciate it, and then years later, hindsight's like, oh, this is actually really good. Then he says, so wait, what was the bar? I laugh out loud because that's what they gave Bad back in the day. So Bigger and Duffer, LL Cool J's album, they gave him 2.5 out of 5, which actually made me not feel as bad now. Because if it happened to James, it can happen to Shady. They do the same shit to Brady. So James is LL Cool J. So he's saying, it doesn't hurt me as much because they did this to LL Cool J's awesome album, right? So they do it to LL Cool J, they could do it to me, and they do it to Tom Brady, who's like the greatest ever.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, who? Brady? Like, I
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Then he says, more people hate me than love me. This game will make you go crazy. About to go for BROKE. I was the G, the OAT.
It's a good line.
I know, it's so cool. Once I was played in rotation at every radio station. So he's saying, there's more haters than people that love him. And it could
Yeah.
make you go crazy, but he's going for broke, meaning that's it. He's putting it all out there, and he was the GOAT. And I was played in rotation at every radio station. So he's talking about how he used to have more commercial success back in the day on every radio station.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then he said, they said I'm lyrically amazing. Sorry. They said I'm lyrically amazing, but I have nothing to say. But then when I put out Revival and I had something to say, they said that they hated the Awake Me.
The awake me.
Yeah, so like play on woke.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's saying, okay, this is the critiques that he get that he's so good, but he has no content, and then he has nothing to say, and then he does Revival, and he has something to say. They hate the Awake Me. And then on that same theme of people the critiquing, saying it's not good enough, he says, I lose the rage. I'm too tame. So if he's not as angry, people are like, oh, he's too tame, right? Then he says, I get it back. They say I'm too angry. So it's like, oh, now. Then he says, I need to get me some Dre beats. So that's what the fans say. He needs to go back and do beats with Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And then somebody else says, no, I should hook up with Tay Keith, who's a producer.
Okay.
And then he says, fans keep on pulling me one way. Haters pull me in another. Got more hooks in me than Sway Lee. So that's a cool line. So he's saying his fans are telling him that they want this, right? But then haters are like saying this.
Yeah.
And he's getting
it's
pulled in every
weird.
direction.
Yeah.
And then hooks. So Sway Lee, he sings hooks, like choruses, like Unforgettable with French Montana,
Okay.
like that. So he sings.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Yes. So he
That's
sings
cool.
like choruses, like hooks. So it's a double entendre,
Yeah.
hooks. Then he continues. About to pick up some weights and lift till my tattoo of Haley's face stretches. They said I'm just a whiner. I sound like a baby. I dish it out but can't take it. But I take it, dish it back out, and they get all bent out of shape. So it's funny. He's like, I'm about to lift weights till my tattoo of Haley's face stretches. So he has a tattoo on his arm. So he's going to lift weights and then,
Until he's stronger.
yeah, he's going to get bigger and then her face is going to get distorted because it's going to be so big. And then, yeah, people are saying he's a whiner and he sounds like a baby and he can't take it. But then when he does take it and then dish it back out, they're like, oh my God, why is he so angry? So they get bent out of shape. So, yeah, so there's a little, the dish and then bent out of shape, little thing there.
Yeah.
Then he says, the shit's almost comical. Wait. And I meant no disrespect. I wasn't dissing tech. That was not a shot at 2 Chainz or to Jay-Z. They probably feel the same way because lately, instead of us being credited for longevity, so he's saying, okay, it's comical, this crazy shit, and then he makes it clear that he's not dissing Tech Nine, 2 Chainz, or Jay-Z. He's saying they probably feel the same way. Lately, instead of being credited for longevity and being able to keep it up for this long at this level, we get told we'll never be what we were. Bitch, if I was half as good as I was, I'm still twice as good as you'll ever be.
It's a good
I
line.
love that line too. And it sounds so good. The longevity, never be, it's so good. So yeah, I mean, this is straightforward. He's saying nobody respects him or the other people he mentioned for being around and making music. But if he was half as good as he used to be, he's still twice as good as you. Makes him, I guess, 4 times better than you.
Mm.
Okay, and then here comes my favorite line. He says, only way that you're ahead of me is alphabetically, because if you diss me, I'm coming after you like the letter V.
It's a good line.
It's so simple. It's like so obvious and simple, but I love it. So wait, I'm trying to think about this. The only way that you're ahead of me is alphabetically. So that means if like he would be E, Eminem,
Marshall.
somebody would have to be like, I don't
A,
know.
B, C, D.
Yeah, so like say Akon. He's like, but if you diss me, I'm coming after you like the letter V. So yeah, obviously the letter U is before the letter V, and at that time he'll be coming after you, just like the letter U and V. You know what I mean? It's so. I don't know why. There's something about that line that I'm like, that is so fucking clever. Then he says, killing everything, play this tune, it's your eulogy, it's your funeral, prepare to die. This is music for you to be murdered by.
That's a cool way to start off the album.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
The beat's like ominous, all that.
Yeah. And he's got some good lines in there. I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's a
I
great.
know it. I forgot to mention I've heard this before.
Oh yeah, you said
I
that
just
once it
don't
started.
remember anything about it.
Well, yeah. Plus, it's called Premonition. That word's not in there. I guess so. Actually, she says it technically in the beginning, but
I recognize the sound of her voice. I didn't recognize the words.
yeah. No, I love this. It's a great intro. It's
It's really good.
perfect. And it's not a skit. It's an actual song. So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this song.
Yeah, it's good. So definitely check out Carnivore Snacks, Chomps, SeatGeek, Amazon Storefront. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Bye.